remember, I think wrestling's real. So I don't really know that. I kind of knew something was going on, but I wasn't sure where it was. I was very, still kind of naive. And I was like, oh, fuck. I go, maybe I could do that. I'll go in, knock a motherfucker out. I go, but why hasn't it been done before? So I was like conflicted, And so.
What year is this?
This probably was 87, 88, something like that.
Okay.
And so I'm like, so we get there and my outfit isn't done. So this guy wants me to wear his outfit, which was super whack and it didn't fit me. And I was like, I go, bro, what happens if they throw me through the ropes and I fall through the ropes and everybody laughs at me? He goes, that's not going to happen because you're going to knock them out. And I go, but what if it does happen? I go, I'm going to be the laughing stock of Tijuana. And he goes, no, don't worry. He goes, so we get there and I'm in the very first match and they have me announced as the Incredible Hulk. I'm like, fuck. I actually got nervous, bro, because I thought really this was the only thing that stopped me, Cole, from actually going, who knows what would have happened. I mean, if I would have gone into the dressing room, the guys go, oh, well, here, I'm going to do this to you and that. And I'm going, what? I'm just going to knock your bitch ass out, Who knows what would have happened, And so, but I was afraid that I was going to go through the ropes. So I told them, look, the only way I'll wrestle, I goes, if you teach me how to hit the ropes or whatever terminology I use, because I'm sure I didn't say hit the ropes, right. So he brings me to a gym and Rey Mysterio Sr.'s there, Rey Mysterio Jr.'s uncle. And he was the world champion at that time and he's putting on oil, and he comes up to me and goes, are you the guy that wrestled in Florida? And I go, no, I've never wrestled. He goes, and why did you come here and you lied? And I go, because my manager, your manager? You've never wrestled and you have a manager? Oh, yeah, doesn't everybody? No. He goes, who the fuck's your manager? And I go, John Roberts, the champion. And he turns around and he goes, that guy's not a champion, he's a fan. Some fan.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious, that's how I got into the business. Some fan lied to me, told me he was a wrestler, showed me a gimmick to wrestling thing.
So he was a white guy?
Yeah, he was a white guy.
Okay.
And then later on, I find out that the limp he had, he actually had a prosthetic leg. So this guy but that's how I got into the business.
What a weird fucking thing, man. So how did he get in the back?
They knew him. He was like a fan that would always go pick up the wrestlers and, pick them up at the airport, take them to the hotel.
There's so many
fan, right?
There's so many of those guys around, right? Why wouldn't you know?
Yeah.
And they all pretend like, fuck, man. So that's been happening forever, the idea of that guy. But did you ever be like 20 years later, were you ever like, why did you do that? Have you ever talked to him?
No, because he was so into that whole thing. We used to make fun of him because he used to say, yeah, I fought. There's a guy in Mexico called Super Raton, which is in Spanish, it's actually Mighty Mouse.
Okay.
He used to say, yeah, I wrestled Super Raton, because I was actually using him because he would drive me to LA, he'd drive me to Bakersfield. So I'd have to listen to his bullshit stories and kind of go along, because if I kind of broke his bubble, he probably would go into shell shock and never take me anywhere because of the embarrassment. So I had to kind of keep the story going. So he would take me everywhere and pay for my shit. So he would say, yeah, I fought Super Raton. And yeah. And then one day I go, well, you know what? I just met Super Raton in Mexico. I'm going to ask him the next time I see him. He can say, no, it's my chance. Always find a way to, make it better.
That's me talking to him.
Right. So one time, he wanted to be my manager. We were in a battle royal. So I go, when I'm in the ring, John, I want you to come in and I want you to grab a guy. So I told Ray the story. Well, at that time, I had to be 17 years old. I go, when John gets into the ring, I want you to drop kick him until he falls on his ass. Make him pay a lesson for trying to be into the wrestling business, And Ray was, man, I can't do that. He's got a bad leg. I go, fuck that. I go, just get him.
Not only does he have a bad leg, he has no leg.
Right. Yeah, but I just wanted to break his bubble because he just thought wrestling was so easy. And so, poor Ray, man, I just kept on him until he did it. And he hit him once, he kind of tumbled, he hit him again, and he fucking took a bump, his leg almost came off, and Ray was, I'm sorry. And the guy went out, and I go, you had enough? He goes, no, I'm ready to go in there. I fucking done.
Then you really have to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. He's driving you everywhere, right?
Yes.
So Rey Mysterio Senior
Yes.
was like, fine, okay, you can be in a match. And then, did you beat the fuck out of that guy?
No, what happened was
He taught you the ropes.
Yeah. First, I went with a guy that was in the Navy and another Cuban guy that was in the Navy with me. All three of us went. After 2 weeks, they quit because they were literally trying to make us quit. I mean, I was walking around. I was still in the Navy at that time. I was in the Navy, and then at night I would go train.
Fit as can be, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I was like fucking, I was a juice head at that time. And I was like in the ship, dizzy from concussions. They fractured my wrist. They fractured my hip. But I just wasn't going to quit.
25 fish, I might have caught 3. He was in the sweet spot. He just gets falling out of the water, and I'm over here looking like, God dang, this guy's the
for the vacant championship, which means tonight we finally crowned one
we get back to the lodge, and it's a very basic structure. There's a screen door, and when we come this trip, someone had put a big lazy boy chair there, made out of vinyl, and there was a table with an old school VHS deck on it, and a blue color TV, and it was Cape Fear, the movie.
You don't want to compromise your ability to
Rick
throw
Rude caught
punch
probably 20, 25 fish. I might have caught 3. He was in the sweet spot.
Penny predicament, forces the shoulder up. No harm in seeing if you can finish him off quick there.
But you can't have to go far.
Drop kick hits the mark. Connecting with a standing moonsault. Not only does the standing moonsault physically hurt,
What's up, right, dude?
it's got to bruise the ego too. That'll turn your lights out.
Yeah. Once I just did a shower, I just saw the ceiling. The torches in the mirror.
Big clothesline.
If I don't know,
Now,
this how you
crippling the
Can you
opposition.
please pretend?
Lesnar is the biggest drawing money heel in professional wrestling today.
Able to
The
reverse.
problem is he's not a professional wrestling.
Landed.
But what did he do?
All you
What
want,
did
he's just
Brock
feeding
Lesnar
off it more.
do? Did anybody see the pay-per-view? Do something. Okay. Dana's happy. Here comes a guy into the MMA world. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll get back to you.
Dropped on their crown.
We're close. Here comes a guy in the MMA world.
For the title.
Phony wrestling. Fuck you.
Wasting no
That's
time
what the
getting his
MMA
shoulder
fans are
up.
thinking, right? And the fighters and the journalists and everybody else. This is serious sport. He's a phony wrestler. Phony wrestler also has to be a fucking genetic freak.
Championship makes the cover.
We hit him in Louisville. My God, he can hit him with a sledgehammer in the head. We used to call him Brock Lesnar behind his back.
Was over. The WWE
Here is the biggest drawing money in professional wrestling today. The problem is he's not a professional wrestling. But what did he do? What did Brock Lesnar do? Did anybody see the pay-per-view? Do something. Okay.
The daredevil in you comes
Dana's
out when you
happy.
take risks like that.
Here comes a guy into the MMA world. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll get back to you in a second.
Down right in front of our faces.
And then
More
we're
up close
close.
and personal than I'd like to be.
Here comes a guy in the MMA world.
Measured
A
knees
phony
up.
wrestler.
And he's
Fuck
showcasing
you.
some dominance
That's
here.
what all the MMA fans are thinking, right? And the fighters and the journalists and everybody else. This is serious sport. He's a phony wrestler. Phony wrestler also happens to be a fucking genetic freak.
This feels so unsafe.
We had him in Louisville. My God, you can hit him with a sledgehammer in the head. We used to call him Brock Lesnar behind his back.
Taking this one back to the ring now. The ref's count
He's
ain't
the biggest
stopping.
drawing.
The clock is ticking here.
Are you getting S?
No.
Lesnar is the big.
Pinpoint precision, right on target.
Who are some of the dudes that put up the biggest weight in the gym? Obviously, you were probably an animal in the gym, right?
I was animal in the wrestling match. Let me ask you that. What is the toughest sport in the world? In the gym or in the wrestling?
Well, I'm going to say in the wrestling, but you were a fit man.
Hang on just a
Absolutely.
second.
I wrestled all my life since I was young, 15 years old. Wrestling is in my blood.
But look, again, only one guy can do one thing. They were already convinced after the first 15 minutes, this guy came back and made an impact that went over our heads. And that's not...
Here comes the Bucky Beaver story. We got to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia for Monday Night Raw. Has anybody here ever gone to Halifax, Nova Scotia? That's what I thought. And you didn't like it, did you, once you got there?
All out of whack. Definitely
Yeah,
not
well,
something
fuck
you
you
want
anyway.
to deal with at a
Okay,
time
so-
like this. Impressive.
The plane tickets are like $1,200 a piece to go to Halifax unless you get a Saturday night stay. So they fly us in on Saturday afternoon for a Monday night show, and we're sitting in Halifax. I didn't bring a fishing pole or a hunting rifle, so I'm pretty well screwed. Here comes the Bucky Beaver story. We got to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia for Monday Night Raw. Has anybody here ever gone to Halifax, Nova
Watch
Scotia?
the quickness on this.
That's what I thought. And you didn't like it, did you, once you got there? Yeah, well, then fuck you anyway. Okay, so.
He climbs into the ring.
They found out the plane tickets are like $1,200 a piece to go to Halifax unless you get a Saturday night stay. So they fly us in on Saturday afternoon for a Monday night show. We're sitting in Halifax.
He just did stuff that you. Well, no, I won't do it now. Think about it. I won't want to go to high school wrestling now.
Seems a little too
Tell me
early
some of the
in this
people that
match
you
to
work
go
with
for
in
the
Mexico
pin.
that we may have heard of.
When I first got there, my tech partner was like El Spiritus.
Continuing to attack the neck.
Dr. Wagner.
Draped over the top
Yeah,
rope.
he was. He just finished it all. Yeah, no, he won the program. I think I was in a tag match with him once.
Wasting absolutely
Me,
no respect on his
Spiritus,
opponent. You gotta love
somebody
it.
else. Because I remember playing as there. There were 6 of us out with him.
Yeah, double arm lock song.
It couldn't have felt good being chucked around like that.
Very good. Unbelievable experience, you know? Unbelievable.
Setting
But
up.
that's what you did then. You just did stuff then.
What are they doing here?
No, I won't do it now. Think about it. I won't want to go to high school wrestling now.
Right. Tell me some of the people that you work with in Mexico that we may have heard of.
When I first got there, my tech partner was like El
I think we know
Spiritus.
what's coming next.
Dr. Wagner.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He just finished it all. Yeah, no, he won
Let's
the
just all
program.
take a
I think I
moment
was
to
in a
truly
tag match with him once.
appreciate and embrace his
Me,
presence.
El Spiritus, somebody else. Because
He's
I
definitely
remember
being the
playing there.
aggressor here.
There were 6 of
he's
us out
showing
with
us a
him.
lot out
Yeah,
here.
crossover, you thinking the way you look at wrestling.
Over and a snap suplex.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to the music to the fullest. You know, look at us. We're fucking gimmick. When we used to do interviews, and sometimes still now, we put it like a wrestling program, yelling at the camera, all that crazy shit. You know, we used to do interviews and just be as wild and fucking crazy as we possibly could, taking for wrestling, trying to be characters, trying to sell. That we're out of our minds, you know what I'm saying? And we, especially in Europe, man, it's the fuck up over there.
Someone clearly doesn't want this match to go on much
But,
longer.
you know, just like wrestling, if anybody thinks we're real, like if anybody thinks we're actually serial killer clowns, they got something wrong with them, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's obvious gimmick, everything gimmick. Every time, especially back in the day when we do interviews, it's all gimmick, all that shit, man. Now, the things we believe are real, any type of evil in the world, in our music, we murder those people, that anger is real. It's really in us, but we're not actually doing that shit. It's just entertainment. It's loud and it's brash, but it's entertainment.
Across the face. Oh, man.
He's
Well, crossover, you thinking the way you look at wrestling.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to the music to the fullest. You know, look at us. We're fucking gimmick. When we used to do interviews, and sometimes still now, we put it like a wrestling program, yelling at the camera, all that crazy shit. You know, we used to do interviews and just be as wild and fucking crazy as we possibly could, taking for wrestling, trying to be characters, trying to sell that we're out of our minds. You know what I'm saying? And we, especially in Europe, man, we still got them up over there.
And he keeps his focus on an attack to that area.
But, you know, just like wrestling, if anybody thinks we're real, like if anybody thinks we're actually serial killer clowns, they got something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a gimmick. Everything's a gimmick. Every time, you know, especially back in the day when we do interviews, it's all gimmick. All that shit, man. Now, the things we believe are real, any type of evil in the world, in our music, we murder those people. That anger is real. It's really in us, but we're not actually doing that shit. It's just entertainment. It's loud and it's brash, but it's entertainment.
Just a second.
crossover you think of the way you look at wrestling and the way you look at music?
Yeah, no doubt. Look at us. We took the wrestling. We took wrestling to music to the fullest. You know,
look at us. We're a fucking gimmick.